2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Here we go, here we go.
He don't know no better.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Deep ball for Goodwin. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Let's go. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down now. It's Hunt, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for third down.
I got you. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Murray with a third and long. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
54. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Throwing is Murray on third down. Got an open man. It's Washington. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here we go, here we go,
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Here we go, here we go. Like 80! 54. All day, just like that.
On second down, a run with Breida. And a short game. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
21. Hey, seam 6.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, 94 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Come on, boy. You better be ready.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. From the gun on third down, Murray into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. Third and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Alabama, Mack Wilson. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half, and you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on his...
It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come on.
Murray fighting. Lost the football. 21-0 our score after 1.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Niners 21, Steelers 0.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now this time, Murray to throw it. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Unable to find Alan Lazard. A gain of 6 there on first.
To number 88.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Yards to go.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Check down to Breida. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 12. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He'll have a first down inside the 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make...
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
56.
To throw is Murray. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14.
28, Steelers 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
13 yards there and a Niner first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here we go.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
13.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. This is caught at the 20. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Let's go now. Hey, come on. Check 56. Hey, here we go. Try. 56 to Mike. 56 is Hood.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Murray. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. From the gun on third down. Murray. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Murray now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Go back. We got motion. Back up. 54.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A give right side now to Hunt. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The pass rush specialist, D Ford, in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On second down, here's Murray. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
56. Yeah. Right there, 56. You ain't
Shotgun now from Murray. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Marr on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. This is Breida. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. He sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and he is all the way up past the 25. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Let's go.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they...
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Murray now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Mike 54, go. Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to sling this, and this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. They'll try to run with Breida, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Steelers 6-yard line.
They run again with Breida. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. He he's sacked back at the 24. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Ricky.
Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. What did you see on that one? Rookie mistake or just good defense?
It was a combo play, but the rookie quarterback, he'll take it all on his shoulders, and the frustration level is evident. You can see it with him. You know, if that's a veteran quarterback, he walks off like he just threw a touchdown pass because he doesn't want to show that to the defense. The young guys, they take it more to heart. It's on their sleeve a little bit. He'll learn as he goes along how to hide his emotions.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch the slap.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. Open space inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Push him back. Push him back.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. Going top shelf for Smith. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. That's one of those interceptions watching from up here. The quarterback wide receiver just looked a little out of sync.
They did look a little out of sync. And, yeah, they're going to examine that when they get to the sidelines, and they'll talk about it throughout next week when they watch the tape. But the guy who's going to be there for him, really in his ear, is his center. Because that's a special relationship for a rookie quarterback. Your center handles your line calls. He gets everyone in the proper position to block. He'll be the first guy back to pick you up after you've been knocked down. And that's the guy you watch the extra film with and try and learn the league.
Ain't no such thing.
Now Mostert. Calling an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Murray. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And all the way to the opposite 48. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Double dog, that's the way.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Ready? 54.
Murray with a third and long. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Murray and company going for it on fourth. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.